Mike, thanks to my wife, she got me this I can interview people on the go through my phone or through a GoPro, and it's like podcast quality audio. How's the audio? The audio good? Can you hear me properly on Instagram? Is it good? Okay, guys. Let me know what you guys have on your mind, clinical research related. Happy Wednesday. I almost said Monday, but it's not Monday, it's Wednesday. How's it going, guys? What's going on? Let me know on YouTube how everything's going, and on LinkedIn and on Facebook. I did let's see, yesterday I went to my clinic in San Bernardino, talked to our newest PI, Dr. Zahedi, did a video with him on last week, and then we're redoing the CRA Academy modules. So Chris and I did, hey, all the way from India, how's it going? Chris and I redid week one site selection visit, and then today I redid the slides for interim monitoring visits, and those are long. There's a lot to know. Monica, how's it going? Let's put Monica on the screen. Give it some LinkedIn love. How's it going, Monica? Monica's a go-getter, guys. She is one of the biggest go-getters I know. She reminds me of myself when I was back in 2014 in the early DSCS days. Just a go-getter. Jeslyn, how's it going? Let's show Jeslyn some love. You have the freezing emojis. You're in Texas. Hey, guys, anybody in Texas right now? Okay, this is why we're in California, and this is why we're in Arizona. Even though I'm in California right now, this is why we're in these states. Texas looks good on paper. All right, no state income tax, freedoms, everything looks good until you move there, and then you're like, what is going on here? This is Alaska. So please, guys, keep warm out there. Jeslyn says, hey, we're freezing. We just got power 2 days later. Unbelievable. But what a trooper you are. You got power and you're watching the live stream. Maybe you can make the Patreon mastermind tomorrow morning. Nebraska's also freezing. Man, this is how I go out outside. A light sweater. Don't even really need that. Maybe just at night. Here in California. For all the problems California has, it's still one of the better places, I think, to be. But man, this is unusual weather for Texas and for the Midwest. I mean, unreal. I remember I went to Austin, Texas exactly a year ago, and it was cold. It was cold then. It was like 50 degrees. So where are you guys on Instagram? Let me know, and make sure on Instagram you are hitting the screen, and make sure we got someone from Nebraska, Bridget from Nebraska. So yeah, let me know your comments. Let the comments roll in. Let the likes roll in. Uh, More Texas people? Jeez, freezing. Everybody's freezing. Precious, how's it going? Nice to see you. It's been a while. It's been a while since we talked. And then here's somebody who fears not cold weather. Okay, all the way from Canada. What you guys are experiencing in Texas is like a summer day for them. I think. I don't know. Probably not. Atlanta, how's it going in Atlanta? Is it cold there too? I guess it's cold everywhere. Good evening, all. I'm really interested in becoming a CRA. I get cold feet, no pun intended, when it's time to interview. So, why? The reason, well, I probably know why. There's a good chance that, and shout out to Little Rock, Arkansas, there's a good chance that you're getting cold feet because you lack confidence. And the only way to get better at confidence is to know your worth, know your value, and know what you're doing. I think the sound sounds really good on Instagram. On Instagram, let me know thumbs up emoji if the sound is really good. If the sound on Instagram is exceptionally good, let me know. Let me know if this was a good ROI. Okay. And we already know on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. It's awesome. Somebody said audio 100. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the whole thing about getting cold feet when you interview, couple things to get better. Know your material better. All right, so I hate to keep like pumping my book, but that's gonna give you an overview of the industry. Watch the videos, immerse yourself in these live streams, immerse yourself in the podcasts. All right, sound is good. Thank you, thank you. Everybody says sound is good, so it works. See, I was just overthinking it too much. And another thing to prevent you from getting cold feet is to do more interviews. Okay, because the more interviews you do, the better you're gonna get at it. I mean, interviewing, even for me, like I don't, I haven't interviewed in years, but last interview I did like 6 of them around the same 2 week period. And I'm not gonna lie, the first one was like kind of nerve wracking, but then they got easier as I did more, right? And you stop doubting yourself. Like sometimes these interviewers, they specialize in making you doubt yourself, right? I remember one time I was interviewed by a company which shall remain nameless, but wink, wink, I'm doing a biotech stock analysis. Maybe of them on YouTube. I do these small cap biotech, small market value biotechs, and I was gonna do one today, but honestly, I have to research it a little better. So I plan on doing one tomorrow for that. So do more interviews, and then learn the stuff better, right? Gabby Marinello, how's everything with the site going? How's everything with the site going? And just put yourself out there, okay? Go to conferences. You know how many conferences there are, like virtual conferences now? You can go on LinkedIn and you're like bombarded with conferences. Go on all my live streams. Go on my Clubhouse. Okay, my Clubhouse, you have to have an iPhone, but on Clubhouse every Friday at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern time, I go on Clubhouse and we just talk with other researchers. The more you put yourself out there, the more you start communicating in our lingo, communicating with our acronyms, communicating in the context that people, other researchers in the industry communicate with, you should get better and not get cold feet. And the nervous stuff, getting nervous is normal. That just means you're excited. Try to find a way to channel that nervous energy into excitement. Okay, because those two, what do you call those two things? Those two emotions, nervousness and excitement, are very similar. So, and the outputs are kind of similar too. So just try to channel it. Okay, nervous, 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 excitement. All right, even if you're overly excited, much better than to be overly nervous. And you only have to tweak a little bit. All right, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I don't make any sense. How's everybody doing? Let's put facts. Wale, how's it going? Gabby, we gotta get you studies. You gotta get busy over there. 18. Here in India, we are burning with heat. Lucky you guys. And pressure says 18 degrees Celsius in Canada. So we got weather from all over the world here. All different weathers, no matter what part of the world you're in, the research industry, the forecast is very sunny for 2021. Look, the more I dive into this industry, this is one of the reasons I started looking at biotech stocks as a new form of content that I'm creating on YouTube. So I'm gonna have different kinds of content every day. I'm gonna have these little short, bite-sized 1 to 8 minute videos where I teach you something about research. I'm gonna have a little bit longer where I interview someone, maybe a former student, maybe someone who got hired as a CRA, maybe a coordinator, maybe a thought leader in the industry. Those are the longer ones, more for podcasts. Then I'm gonna go live stream like this, where we do Q&A and we just answer any questions you may have. And then I'm doing the biotechs. And honestly, the reason I'm doing biotech stock review and analysis is for a couple of reasons. It's going to grow the channel a lot faster. So you guys are like the first among, even though I've been doing this 10 years, you guys are amongst the first subscribers because you guys are the core, like the 13.5K subscriber I have now on YouTube. You're the core because you came on before I started talking about stocks and before I started talking about money. But now I'm going to start adding that to the YouTube to attract people interested in clinical research, but maybe they don't know about it yet. They're just interested, like, from the perspective of investing in companies, in biotechs. So that's number one. I'm going to grow the channel more that way. Number two, I'm actually learning about like new studies coming out. Like I learned about a rare uh, virus yesterday. Well, not so rare, but it's unknown and there's no treatment for it called Molluscum Contagion. And I learned there's no FDA approval for it. And there's a study in phase three, right, by Novum. Novum, Novn is the name of the is the symbol. I think the company is called Novum. Novum Pharmaceuticals or Novum Therapeutics. But basically, you go on clinicaltrials.gov, you search that company, you go to contact at the bottom of clinicaltrials.gov, you find like one of the founders or one of the high level directors. So I'm learning a lot more. And yeah, Gabby, I do that on YouTube. I've done like 3 or 4 biotech reviews so far. And those ones get views fast. And those ones get views from people that are not you guys. You know, those get views from maybe future you guys, but not present you guys. You guys are like I'm saying, the core. The core fans. Becca1122. We did a great interview. How's it going? Ebony says thank you. Ebony, you got this. You got this. Just do more. Do more interviews. Take interviews knowing that you're not going to get the job. Take interviews for jobs you don't even want. Just to do it. Okay? Just to do it. Jeslyn says, network plus more interviews and read the comprehensive guide to clinical research is a good start to combating nervousness. I had this reality check recently. Absolutely. And life is short, guys. Like, it's 2021, you know, and like towards the end of our lives, are we really going to think, like, man, I just got nervous? You know, I got so nervous back in my younger days. Like, it's going to be irrelevant. Just trying is what's going to be important and what you're going to remember at the end of your life. And if you don't try, you're going to remember that too. How to become a CRA from a CTA. I work as a CTA for a CRO. Very easy. I mean, you got to talk to your HR. There's different line managers. So CROs, they don't want to lose good employees, right? They rather promote you internally than lose you to someone else. Unless, you know, they really don't care and they want to hire from outside. Am I doing crypto as well? No, I'm personally invested in crypto, but I'm not going to make YouTubes about that because it's too far removed from research. But if I do biotech stock analysis, where I can still talk about clinical trials and talk about medicine, it's related to clinical research. I mean, the two go hand in hand. Crypto and clinical research, not yet. They're not really related yet. So, how to become a CRA from a CTA? You start with your company, you know, who you're at, and you tell them, look, I want to be a CRA, and how do I get there? What's my trajectory? How do I progress to that point? And build up the experience. The more experience you have, the better. And look, put your CV out there. Put your resume out there. Maybe it's not going to be for the same company you work for. All right. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Exactly. Exactly. Christine, how's it going? My Clubhouse buddy, my Patreon buddy. We just did an interview and a live stream the other day. How are you? We got a long one here. This is so long, it almost covers the entire screen. I'm going to hide behind this question. It's so long. A very good morning from Tanzania. I have my college education from New York and work experience as a CRC and study startup specialist in Florida. Good. You have the makings of a generalist. I have no opportunities here in Tanzania, and I have been looking for remote CRA positions since. My career has come to a halt, so now I take online courses just to stay updated with clinical research. I wish CROs would consider hiring remotely from countries other than US or Europe. Yes, that they will not do that right now. They're not doing that. I don't know if they're going to do that in the future. I know the world is getting more flat and all that stuff, but I think sponsors for US trials, sponsors prefer US CRAs. And then for European trials, sponsors prefer European trials. And for Latin America trials, sponsors prefer Latin America trials. I feel like I'm hiding. This question is so long. I'm doing great. Just finished a podcast recording with Brad. Note to File Podcast. Another Patreon member, by the way, Christine. I don't even know if you know that. Brad is a Patreon member. Uh, I love the Note to File Podcast. I think I was on his podcast episode 9 or 10. But shout out to Christine. Hi Dan, I have a follow-up question about the recent video you and Chris did on insurance. Oh great, you're going to ask me about insurance now? We're here motivating people and you're going to ask me about insurance. Hello from Panama, enjoy your tips. Thank you, thank you. Let me know if you got questions and then smash the hearts, smash the likes. No one knows how the new drug is going to react to a subject. In some cases there may be SAEs or even death, and the PI may hesitate to use their insurance for this reason. Can the site negotiate with the sponsor to cover the insurance? So, there is something in every contract you need to negotiate. It's called indemnification. As long as you are following the protocol and good clinical practice, the sponsor will indemnify, meaning they will cover all costs associated with injuries or deaths when it comes to patients. So your last question, who will be liable if SAE hospitalization occurs? It's the sponsor. As long as the PI is following good clinical practice, it's the sponsor. Now, why does the sponsor insist the PIs have medical malpractice? I don't know. I guess they want to be extra careful. But sponsor, I've been in this industry since 2005. Never have I had a sponsor not cover. First of all, it's rare. Um, I've never even been in 15 years. I've only been around that I've known 2 deaths, and those are not even while the patient was in the study. That was after the patient was in the study, and it was completely unrelated. I used to do a bunch of psychiatric trials, and we had unfortunately 2 people who former study participants commit suicide after they were done with the study. Um, it was not related to the study drug. We've had many patients with schizophrenia get worse while they were on the study drug, and then they were taken off of the study drug and put in the hospital, and the sponsor always paid for the hospital bill. So when it comes to liability, the sponsors have the PIs covered. If word ever got out that a sponsor does not protect their investigators, well, I mean, the industry is huge, but it's also small. Nobody would want to do studies with that sponsor. So this is something they take seriously, very seriously. So yeah, that's not very common, and it's called indemnification, and you need to have an indemnification clause in your contracts and budgets. You know, some people will charge you like $5,000 for that info. Me, free on a Wednesday night. We call that a Wednesday. Uh, what's the difference between? Well, let's get back to this person's continuing question. Who will bear the cost? Yeah, so again, indemnification. That's you'll be fine with that. What difference between clinical research scientist and clinical research associate? I mean, I know what a CRA is. They monitor the study, they do source data review, source data verification. A clinical research scientist sounds like one of those things that could mean a lot of things. It just depends on the job description. Anybody know like more or less what a clinical research scientist does? Um, I don't know if they're helping write the protocol or design the study or what exactly it is that they're doing, but look at the job description because the CRAs are completely different job description than really any other position in most organizations. Um, in Latin America, clinical trials want CRAs with US experience, but they will not pay for your expertise. In Latin America, explain that again. Why won't they pay for your expertise in Latin America? Christine says, I think clinical research scientists help with writing scientific reports and data analysis. Sounds about right. CRAs don't do anything like that. They don't do anything like that. They verify that the site is number one, following the protocol, number two, following good clinical practice, number three, following their own SOPs, and that everything's being documented according to Alcoa-C, etc. How do you advance knowledge for the CRA role as a CTA? Any resources to help? It depends on your job description. What are you doing as a CTA? Probably several of those job responsibilities are overlapped with CRA responsibilities. Like here in the US, I know PPD hires a lot of remote site monitors. And those people almost do like what CRAs do, except they don't go on site and do IMVs. But they collect all the regulatory, they track all the regulatory documents for the investigative site file. So they're doing a lot of CRA related work. Okay, it's just a matter of how you're putting it on your resume. I would put your, I would emphasize your job responsibilities more so than your job title. I mean, obviously, you're going to have to put your job title on your resume, on your CV, but I would really make it a point of emphasis to show your job responsibilities. I've seen a research scientist at the chief scientist office at Lackland Air Force Base. Yeah, so they're nothing to do with CRA. Nothing to do with CRA. I'm sure there's some overlap with some skills, but not really. There's much more overlap with CTA than CRA. And CRA than clinical research scientist. There's much more overlap between CRC, clinical research coordinator, and CRA than there is clinical research scientist. Reaching out to recruiters is good. So you are on the right network. You are on LinkedIn. You need to reach out to recruiters on a regular basis. It needs to be part of your daily regimen, like doing cardio and sit-ups and eating your vegetables. Okay, you got to reach out to recruiters also. Same principle. And that's how to answer the how we open up the show. That's how you gain confidence, by talking to more people. Talk, know the lingo, know the issues, listen to podcasts, right? Get on Clubhouse. So many researchers are on Clubhouse, it's unreal. I know CTAs in US support CRAs closely, but in Canada we support the sponsor and work closely with the local study team on startup studies and help with filing in ETMF and other admin work. Good. That's a lot of related skill set. And guess what? Working on the sponsor side is actually very attractive to a CRO because CROs, let's not forget who's the CRO's customer. It's the sponsor. So everything CROs do is to keep the sponsor happy. You can even argue that CROs have become so powerful in the industry that it actually stifles innovations and efficiencies because they're so specialized. Sponsors, if you think about it, their core competency is not doing clinical research studies. It's designing the drugs, coming up with a study for it, not doing anything really to manage the study, sending it to the FDA for approval, communicating with the FDA, coming up with new drugs in the pipeline, and then selling. I mean, sales, guys, sales. That's what drug companies do, right? So CRO is like this new thing that evolved like around the 70s with Dennis Gillings, who founded Quintiles. Um, they're the ultimate specialists. CRO is the ultimate specialist. And there's all this to say that CROs, they want to keep the sponsors happy and they value people who come over from the sponsor level, or who have experience working with the sponsor at the sponsor level. Few more questions. Eating vegetables equals contacting recruiters. Yeah. Or it's just, eating vegetables is like the fundamentals. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, There are fundamentals for this. Like there are things you need to do day in, day out that you may not like to do, but that you need to do. Okay. If the CRC is the owner of the site and brings in a PI as a contractor, does the site and PI have a contractual agreement? Where will the work-related terms be mentioned? Yes. Yes. The PI is a contractor of the site, so the PI, usually you give them an independent contractor contract. I mean, it's very simple. And you state how they're going to get paid and what their responsibilities are going to be. How is the PI typically paid for the work they do? Do they get paid for the number of hours worked in the study, or do they get a share of the overall revenue in the study they are involved? Either. I always say you need to go to my blog, theclinicaltrialsguru.com, and you need to click on the tab Start Your Own Research Clinic, and you need to watch the first two videos because we explain this, like we dissect this topic for about 20 minutes. It's bottom line is it's what the PI wants and what you're willing to do. And you have to find like where those two intersect, where those two things meet. So you can pay them for hours, you can pay them as a W-2 employee, you can pay them as a 1099 contractor, you can make them a business partner. There's a lot you can do. You can do a combination of those things. They are just cheap in Latin America, and labs are going to countries with almost no clinical trials laws and low so regulations. So, yeah, and the FDA is mandating a lot of the studies to be done in the U.S. too. So, like, for example, a United States sponsor seeking FDA approval can use overseas sites, but they have to use a certain percentage of sites in the U.S. as well to get FDA approval, unless it's in a country that's equivalent to the U.S., like Australia or in the European Union. But Latin America, I don't know which countries are on that list. There is a list somewhere. I think you can just Google FDA equivalent countries for drug approval, and you'll find a list. I don't think Brazil's on that list, but yeah, I think in Brazil there's lower regulations and generally everything's cheaper than in the United States. So I know, I feel your pain. I feel your pain if you're working there. But I just interviewed somebody exactly a year ago who works for PPD, I think, here in the US. And she started as a line manager in Brazil for PPD, and she transferred to the United States as a line manager. And now she's here in San Diego. And her husband took the CRA Academy, and now he's a monitor. So the world is flat, guys. Hello from Russia. I'm a doctor and want to be a CRA. I have some GCP course, but all CROs need someone with experience. Exactly. So you need to find experience. You need to start. What is it, guys? What do I always say? Start at the site level. Go to a site near you. Even if you're in the US and you're a doctor from Russia, sites would love to have you as a coordinator because you're a doctor. You're just not licensed in the US. Now, if you're a doctor in Russia and you want to be a CRA, you can, and you're lacking the experience, same thing. Then you need to get some experience in research under your belt as an investigator. So bottom line is gain experience at the site level. The site level is the best place to gain experience anywhere in the world. What is the difference between a CRA 1111 and a senior CRA? I've never heard of a CRA 111. You mean a CRA 3? Different CROs have different titles for their CRA. CRA 1, CRA 2, CRA 3, senior CRA. Sometimes there's no difference. You have to read the job description. Go on Indeed.com and just search those two words. Search senior CRA and see all the job description and requirements for that job. And then go to CRA 2, CRA 3, and see what the job description and requirements are there. And compare it. Companies are going to differ. Companies have their own SOPs. Companies use their own titles. They don't need to share titles in the industry. How would you answer an interview question? Why are you interested in CRA role? And how would you qualify for the role? If you don't have the experience at the site level or necessary experience required for the CRA role. So how would you answer the question in an interview, why are you interested in CRA role? I believe it should come from some place of authenticity from you. I don't know what it may be. Some people have family members who um, had medical conditions or died, and then they have a passion for medicine, and that is very hard to fake. And I mean, that's really hard to fake that. Okay. Now, more technical answer to why are you interested in a CRA role? You want to find a way to show off your skills. Okay, maybe you have a strong clinical background. Like nurses are perfect for this. Well, I'm an RN, but I'm tired of actually dealing with patients and working in hospitals. But I understand medicine, I love science, and I still want to be involved. Like that's a perfect question or a perfect answer, in my opinion. CTA, if you're going from CTA to CRA, you can say I'm looking for more challenge. You know, I feel like I've done all the filing in ETMF I could, and I feel like I'm not learning anymore. And I really think that I'm looking forward to new challenges with CRAs. And I've gone ahead and studied and taken courses, and I feel like I'm a good candidate for that. And I feel like my ambition and my work ethic is going to make up for my lack of experience. Something like that. MedPace offers entry-level CRA positions. There you go. There you go, MedPace. Join Clubhouse and work on your elevator speech for interview prep. That's right. Clubhouse, I can't stress this enough. If I were just starting out in this industry, I would be living on Clubhouse. Living there. From sun up to sundown. If I didn't have a job, I would be on Clubhouse constantly. There are researchers having rooms all the time. Christine, I don't know if you're on Clubhouse a lot. I only go on Friday nights when I host my room, but are there like just every hour basically another room for research? Because I feel like there's tons of rooms in there. Um, the mic is too good. Yes, yes, yes. You probably hear my dog, Sonic, running around here. Hopefully that answers your question about how you answer interview questions. What should I do? Give me more info on what you should do. Are you a Russian doctor living in the US and therefore you can't practice medicine? Or are you a Russian doctor living in Russia? Because my answer is going to differ based on those. How do you get on Clubhouse? You just got to do it. I mean, you got to know somebody who's on there that has an invite that can give you an invite. So, Christine on Instagram, Precious, I believe she's got invites. All right. So, hey Dan, we are a clinical research educator, or you can say at institute. Nice to see you again. Do you feel any AI and data analytics will impact clinical research sectors going in the future? Is virtual trials the future? Of course. AI is going to impact every industry. AI is already playing a role in designing studies. AI is playing a role in predicting how proteins are going to fold at the drug discovery level. AI is going to play a huge role in risk-based monitoring. What I don't think technology can solve is getting more patients interested in clinical research. I think technology can identify potential patients that qualify, but getting the patients interested in research when clinical research is such a negative phrase, even after COVID, even after we see how important clinical research is, most people have negative perceptions when it comes to clinical research. I don't think AI or big data is helping with that at all. I think we're always going to need sites because the sites are the ones with the access to the patients, and the sites are the ones that the patients trust, especially the clinicians of the patients. And by the way, this exact topic, I feel like we talk about this every week on Clubhouse. Can you share your thoughts on clinical research versus medtech? Have you heard about any virtual reality studies? I have not. I have not. Have to have great patient recruitment skills. Exactly. AI is never going to be a good salesperson because AI is a machine, right? AI can, I mean, maybe in the future, but humans are good salespeople because they have empathy, they can relate, right? You can trust a human more than you can trust an algorithm. So these things are real. They're gonna affect research. I think virtual trials is gonna play a role in the future of research. I don't think we're gonna get rid of clinical trials the way they are, but I do think certain aspects of virtual trial will enter research in a hybrid model. So we're gonna give patients the option. You don't have to come to the clinic every visit. Some visits you can do it from home. Some visits you can come in if you want. Precious needs an invite. Anybody got an invite for Precious? Uh, how would you explain transitioning from a CRA to a CRC during the interview? So you're going from a CRA to a CRC. They're going to want to know why. Why are you taking a pay cut? For the most part, CRCs get paid less than CRAs. And you can tell them the truth. Look, I'm burnt out from traveling, and I'm a hard worker. I love research, but the traveling has really taken a toll on me, and I will be so grateful to be staying in one place and coming to work every day. That's what I would say. Uh, Something along those lines. I mean, you got to sprinkle in some authenticity too. I'm sure that's one of the reasons. I don't even know you. I'm probably guessing correctly because it's very stressful to be a CRA, right? And you can also say, I know exactly what CRAs look for. Okay, let me put this question back up. I know exactly what CRAs look for at the sites, and I know I could be an asset to this organization because I am a CRA. I know what they're going to look for. I have empathy for the people who are going to be CRAs here, and I'm going to do a really good job. Can you become project manager or clinical trial manager after having enough experience in CRA? Yeah, you can. You can do anything, guys. The world is your oyster. Guru Nation, baby. That's right. Super Holden C. It's all about Guru Nation. It's all about you guys. Precious. Christine got on LinkedIn for you. Okay. She was on Instagram throwing up hearts. Now she got on LinkedIn because you said you want a clubhouse invite. Now, if she's going to give you a clubhouse invite, I better see you on a Friday. All right. We have to. We have to help one another. And I think that's it, guys. I think I'm going to. Yeah, Precious, you have to have an iPhone too. Uh, I will do it in the future. Some people trust computers. Oh, AI will do it in the future. Some people trust computers more than people. I have seen some people that want the statistics and no more. Yeah, there's something to be said there too. Um, However, I think when it comes to patients, I think patients trust their doctors. Patients trust their clinicians and not an AI. And that's in research. What do we need more of? Why is every study delayed because of lack of enrollment? 2 minute school. I appreciate all the comments on the biotech stuff. Let me know what you think about biotech stuff. Stacy Steele asks, "What is Clubhouse?" Wow, you've got a lot to. That's a rabbit hole. Maybe Christine. Christine's like a chief networking officer for Guru Nation. Christine Naro. She's gonna get in touch with you because you're on LinkedIn right now. Christine, try to get at Stacy and try to send her an invite if you can. See, Christine's on it. Christine, you're like a greatest networker in Guru Nation right now. Anybody who wants to network better than Christine, she set the bar. She set the bar for you. Clinical research needs to come more rooms on. MedTech is taking over. See, guys? Stacy Steele, you can be on Clubhouse hosting your own rooms. Christine can be on there hosting her own rooms. Christine, you set the bar really high. All right. So I'm going to go. I got to walk Sonic. It's getting late. All right. But I'll see you again live streaming on Friday and Clubhouse on Friday. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube, hit the bells, hit the likes, and let me know what you think about these biotech stuff that I'm going to be reviewing. In addition to everything else, 2021, I am an and person, not an or person. So, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll catch you all later.